Now before we begin, I would just like to say that Star Trek Into Darkness is a good movie. It's entertaining, it has a lot of action, great effects, great performances, it's pretty funny, and it has a pretty good story. So I would recommend it. But at the same time, I kind of hate it. And the only way for me to explain that is to get into spoilers. So if you want to see the movie, I would say turn off the video now, see it, and then come back later. If you don't care, then just keep watching. But after the trailer, we're gonna go headlong into spoilers. So get ready.
You think you can't make mistakes? But the choices you make could get yourself and everyone under your command killed. But I believe in you, Jim.
Darkness is coming.
This could just be the beginning.
Beginning of what?
All-out war.
We're outnumbered. Outgunned.
I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. I only know what I can do.
The ship's dead, sir. She's gone.
No, she's not. No ship should go down without her captain.
I believe in you, Jim.
Alright, now Star Trek Into Darkness stars basically all the same cast from the original, plus Peter Weller, RoboCop, plus Benedict Cumberbatch, Sherlock. Now there's been a lot of mystery around who Benedict Cumberbatch was playing exactly. He's listed as John Harrison, something like that. But in fact, he is playing in this movie Khan, which is fine. I'm okay with that. If all of the characters from the original series can come back, then so can Khan. So can Christopher Lloyd as a Klingon. All the characters can come back, so Khan can come back. The only problem is, once it's revealed that Benedict Cumberbatch is Khan, the movie basically then just turns into a remake of Wrath of Khan, to the point where it just steals entire scenes and conversations and lines of dialogue from Wrath of Khan, to the point where it makes me as a viewer and as a fan, because I really did like the first Star Trek reboot, the '09 movie, it really makes me question what is the point of this series if you're just going to remake the others. And the problem with redoing Wrath of Khan is it requires that you do certain scenes that are not only famous, but at this point are kind of untouchable. I.e., Spock dies. But they do it backwards. That's right, Kirk dies. Now they do manage to find a way to bring Kirk back at the end, which is total bullshit. Because, if anybody's seen the series Heroes, around season 3, they started using whatever, the cheerleader's blood to bring characters back, just whatever. And that's essentially what they do in this movie. They take Khan's blood and they put it into Kirk, and then Kirk comes back. He's fine. He's just fine. So that implies that not only can the Khan in this universe never die, if they keep him frozen as they do in the end, then no one in this universe has to die ever. The stakes of this entire series are now ruined because of this. Now, I solely blame this entire fiasco of the last third of this movie, last half of this movie, the second half of this movie, on Damon Lindelof as a screenwriter. Because if you've seen Prometheus, you know the last third of that movie falls apart, and it shares way too many similarities with Alien and Aliens. It relies too heavily on you having seen both of those movies. If you haven't seen both of those movies, you have no idea what's going on in that movie. And in this movie, he wholesale takes scenes from Wrath of Khan. I cannot believe that. Now, there's something that is designated for a person who does things like that. And that is a hack. The end of Lost began the suspicion. Prometheus backed it up with evidence, and now this is confirmed that Damon Lindelof is essentially a hack. I have no idea how he has gotten to where he is, probably because he is a hack. I am done with this series. I'm going to tell you how much of a Star Trek fan I am. When I was ordering my ticket, I got seat D9. You can't see it because it's not going to focus. But I got seat D9 because of my Star Trek fandom. It was my own little reference to Star Trek Deep Space Nine. That's how much of a fucking nerd over Star Trek I am. I'm very serious about this. And it's silly. I know. But my major complaint is, what is the point if you're just going to make a remake of Wrath of Khan? Why do any of this? Is that the entire point of rebooting Star Trek? Is that what's going to come down the line with the Star Wars movies? I mean, because if JJ's really got the first one, then it's likely that his little friend, Damon Lindelof, is going to come in at some point. So is the last movie just going to be... So if he does do Star Trek, I think they're rumoring that he might be doing 9. Well, if he does do 9, is it just going to be Return of the fucking Jedi over again? This is ridiculous. This is a waste of time and money. My money. So, it's funny because I say that, but at the same time, I will recommend it because I do think if you're a fan of this series, if you were a fan of the first or of the reboot, then go ahead and see it. If you're a fan of Star Trek, tread lightly. Well, it depends how much of a fan of Star Trek you are. If you're a big fan like I am, then tread lightly. If you're a bit of a casual fan, if you don't take it that seriously, then you'll be fine. And at the same time, like it's just a movie, you know? It's not really that big of a deal in my life, but at the same time, what is the point? First big movie of the year. Iron Man 3 was first big movie of the year. Second big movie of the year, and it was a disappointment. First one was pretty good. Second one was a disappointment. We'll see how next week goes.
Trekking across the universe. On the Starship Enterprise under Captain Kirk. Star trekking across the universe.